Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's another video. So sorry for being inconsistent with posting throughout this week, but here we are today, Saturday, the 14th of June, 2025. Your boy's 18 and today's a new day. It's currently 11:23 in the noon. We woke up at 6 a.m. today. We read, meditated, prayed, and did some breath work. We hydrated, we slept back again. 2 hours later, we woke up at 3 hours later, we woke up at 9, meditated, hydrated, we worked out, ate breakfast, and now we're here. So what I wanted to talk on, which I haven't talked on in the last few weeks, which I need to talk on, is about the snacks business. So the reason why I haven't been talking on it for the past few weeks was because of the fact that my family was in the house. Right now, my family isn't in the house. So that's exactly why I can talk on this now, because it's pretty personal and sensitive. And obviously, you guys know that this is a business channel and we talk business, mindset, entrepreneurship, and our well-being. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to talk on that because of the fact that, the average people, my family, they were in the house. And in this case, currently they are not in the house. So we can finally freely talk on it. So in the past 8 months of me running my snacks business in school, you guys know, before I get into it, there's a law against selling in school, in high schools and middle schools, etc. And you can't sell in school or you'll get in trouble because you're quote unquote competing against the vending machine company, which is some random name in Cherry Hill East High School. And obviously that didn't stop me from running the business, and we kept running. We stayed low key. We built our brand. We built in a community. We built a pendulum of people who always would come and buy from me. So I used different strategies here and there, learning from online business, self-teaching myself how business management, how operations work, how supply and demand works. And I was able to fortunately make an insane machine, building my LTV, my AOV, meeting new customers, talking to new people each and every day of school, and scaling my business up to the hundreds of dollars weekly. So in the past 8 months, in the span of 8 months, we have generated over $6,000 in sales, and we have specifically generated over $6,500, so $6,500 in the past 8 months of running my selling business. And that's not as I was, while doing that, I was also running my, social page on Instagram. We're almost about to hit 10,000 followers. I also had a 9-to-5 job, so I was currently, the whole way through, I was currently working at Dunkin' Donuts, and working at Dunkin' Donuts, has also been a lever for my business as well. And I've just been, out there, just juggling with everything at once. It's been a crazy hectic week. Each and every record week, we've had an even hectic week. I was also running a group chat on Snapchat, which I utilized that to build my community of people who could easily communicate with me anytime during school. And that is what made it way easier and way seamless to communicate with sellers and customers. So all of these different things put together has made me absolutely scale my business to hundreds of dollars weekly. And in the span of 8 months, we've generated over $6,500 in total sales. And profit, I won't forget profit, guys. Profit is way more important than revenue. Rev talk is just numbers on the screen, whereas profit is actually what is in your bank account, what's in my bank account, what's in my pockets as we speak. So in profit, I made over $3,500 in sales, so over 3,000, let's say. And I also had a partner, won't forget Jaden. He made a couple $100 in sales, and he was able to generate for himself, with the helps of me, over $2,000 in sales in the span of 3 months of him running and selling for me. So essentially, we've built an insane business, and it's so crazy to say that this should be a small snack side hustle, selling snacks, but we absolutely just pushed. And for the likes of me, I was able to increase my discipline, my work ethic, and just build this business into an actual business that could generate, consistent income each and every week, because my mentality is the harder you try, the more you make, bro. If you truly cared about your business, you would try hard, as hard as everything, so that's exactly what I had as the mentality. And it's just been crazy record weeks. The last 4 weeks, our highest we've ever generated was over $780 in sales in 1 week. And in fact, we were able to generate that in 4 days. 4 days, guys. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 4 days, we were able to generate over $700 in total sales. And the 5th day, which was actually on Friday, was when we got shut down by the security. So we finally got shut down Friday before the weekend, before the next week of school, which was our last week of school. We got shut down by the security. He took all of my stock, and sent it to grade level. By the end of the day, I had to stop by grade level and grab my stock. I actually recorded this, so I can literally show you guys on the screen. I recorded me going from my class all the way to grade level to talk to the assistant principal. And it's so crazy how he said live on camera how he supported and respected what I was doing. It's just I can't do it here. So he told me that he really respected what I was doing, but I just couldn't do it in school. And obviously I didn't listen. A week later, I kept selling, and our last week, we've generated over $470 to be specific in sales in the last week of us selling. And it's been insane. It's been a crazy roller coaster. And I would admit it's probably been the best successful business that I've ever made and I've ever created. And I guess safe to say this is my first business. Got support from my teachers, support from hundreds of students, freshmen, juniors, sophomores, seniors alike. Everybody supported me. Everybody loved what I was doing. Everybody respected the hustle. And I was able to build a community, which helped me absolutely scale my business, increase my AOV, my LTV, and just make it happen consistently. Obviously there was a competitor. His name is Keith, and I actually learned from him. I stole all of his strategies and skills, which is crazy. He's been running for over 3 years, since freshman year, and everyone knows him as the seller before they got to know me. But after they started getting to know me, more people started getting to know me by the weeks. And that's why I was able to scale, because I was constantly outbound marketing. I was constantly getting to know new people. I was constantly putting myself in uncomfortable positions to go ahead and ask people if they were interested in supporting my business, and if they liked candy, chocolates, snacks, or drinks, if they were willing to buy them. So it was just my skill set and my consistency and discipline that really helped me absolutely skyrocket the business in the span of 8 months, way surpassing Keith's regular big days. It was so crazy, because I would always tell people who would be so curious to ask me how much I was making weekly or how much I made ever. And I told them Keith's big days are my normal days, because he would tell me, I can remember 5 months before, me even making it big and, being consistent in scaling my business, where he would say he almost made $80 or he almost made $100 in total sales in a day. And I was like, wow, how does one get there? And just through my consistency and discipline, I was able to make that and scale to that level and make that my normal day of selling. Monday I would make 140, Tuesday 170, Wednesday almost 200, and I would just scale the business each and every day, because the harder I worked, the more money I made. And I just had that mentality of, if I just work a little harder, I would be able to make more and increase my profit margins. So ultimately, this is almost 10 minutes of me talking. But honestly, if you guys can just start something of your own, if you guys are in high school, if you guys are listening to this right now, just start something of your own. Be very consistent in it. When people, they say they don't believe you, you just keep pushing, and you don't care whatever anyone says. I started last year, November, 8 months before this, I started selling drinks. I didn't start selling candies, chocolates, snacks, or anything else before I started selling drinks. So I started selling drinks, stole them from my work, my 9 to 5. I was working at Dunkin'. I would steal those drinks from work and start selling them in school. And that's what made me build enough money to be able to invest into snacks, chocolate, candy, and that's why I was able to absolutely skyrocket my business in the span of 8 months. So if you're watching this and you are in high school, I would advise, instead of playing Clash of Clans, instead of playing Brawl Stars and wasting time each and every day of your school, start something and build that. And just imagine if you were a sophomore, let's say. Just imagine if I was a sophomore and I started this business, I would have generated over tens of thousands. I'll be very, very confident I would have generated over tens of thousands of dollars each and every year of selling, each and every year of school. And it would be unbelievable how much, I would generated if I started back then. So it's crazy, but I'm really excited, and I really enjoyed the journey. I'm telling you, you got to enjoy the journey more than the destination. And it's so worth it, because you hear so many really big entrepreneurs who tell you, enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, take the detour so you can build yourself, because it's all about, becoming, the better person, the better version of yourself. That's what truly matters in the process of building a business. So, I guess this is enough yapping. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys at the top. Obi out.